Hey, what's up, guys? You're here with Goran from Pick Dawgz, and you're here for your free picks from the French Ligue 1 on Sunday, March 19th. As usual, guys, we have a pretty stacked Sunday in France, and we have 7 games on the schedule, kicking off at 8 a.m. with Ajaccio versus Monaco, and finishing off at 3:45 p.m. Eastern in that pretty big matchup between Rennes and Marseille. Two teams fighting to stay in those Champions League spots and possibly qualify for the Europa League or maybe the Conference League. But before we get into that, let me just say, guys, that we have a bunch of free videos up on the Pickdawgz YouTube channel, so make sure you check those out as well. And of course, subscribe and hit that like button, guys. That does help us a lot. Let's get going with the first game here. Like I said, Ajaccio is hosting Monaco, and Ajaccio has been pretty bad this season. They don't have a lot of offense, and their defense is pretty bad as well. They have conceded 48 goals in 18 games, in 27 games, sorry, and they are still in the relegation zone in that 18th place. However, they are now only 2 points away from safety, and they definitely have a good chance of climbing out if they can snap the losing streak they are on, and if they can get some more points over the next few weeks. Ajaccio has won only one of their last 6 games. Their form hasn't been the greatest, but we can say the same about Monaco. Monaco is without a win in their last 4 games. They lost 3 of those 4 games, and they have been struggling a little bit in that attacking end. As a matter of fact, they haven't scored a goal against Rennes last week when they were playing at home. Overall, Monaco is the better team here. They have far more consistency, they have far more quality, and the depth on the bench as well. And I definitely see them as favorites here. However, we'll see if Ajaccio is going to be eager enough to get some points to maybe climb out of the relegation zone. But I honestly don't really care about that much because I have Monaco team total over 1.5 at minus 129. Like I said, Monaco has been far more consistent this season. Their offense has been slacking a little bit as of late, but if they don't score a couple of goals against one of the worst defensive teams in the league, I'm not sure against who they can score. So I'm taking Monaco team total over 1.5. In the next matchup, guys, we have Montpellier playing against Clermont, and this one should be interesting because Montpellier is actually playing really, really well right now. They have won 4 of their last 5 games while not losing any of those 5 games, and with that, they have gained a lot of distance from the relegation zone. They are, I would say, safe. They have like 13-point advantage from the first team in that relegation zone, and even though they are on a roll right now, I don't think that they can reach the Europa League simply because the competition for that is very strong, and I would say that they are pretty far away from it, and I don't think it's possible for them to get there. As far as Clermont goes, they are actually 1 spot above Montpellier in the standings with 1 point more, but their form hasn't been not nearly as good as Montpellier's form is. Clermont has won only 1 of their last 6 games. They lost to Lens 4-0 last weekend. Before that, they lost to Toulouse. Actually, they have beaten Toulouse before that. But in the previous 4 games, they have been struggling. They were scoring very low amount of goals, and they weren't able to keep a clean sheet at all. And honestly, I think this is going to be a very hard matchup for them. The home team has dominated this matchup as of late, and even though Clermont has had some success against Montpellier, given their current form, I just don't see it happening. So in this one, I'm taking Montpellier on the money line. It's minus 120. I would love for this to be plus money, plus 105, 110 or so, but minus 120 is definitely not a bad price on a team that's been playing amazing football and a team that is actually in quite an amazing form as of late. So I'm taking Montpellier on the money line. Nice is hosting Lorient in the next matchup. That's a 10 a.m. game in France, guys. And you know what? Nice has been really stepping up their game. They have been going draw, win, draw, win, draw, win or so. But I gotta say, at home, they have been a little bit slower than they were on the road, which is quite surprising if you ask me. But they're coming off of a nice win in the Conference League by beating Sheriff Tiraspol. They have qualified for the next stage, and they have actually been scoring a decent amount of goals as of late. But not only that, Nice has been defending really well. Yes, in their last two games they have conceded 3 goals, but before that they kept a few clean sheets. They have beaten some of the biggest teams in France, and like I said, they are coming into this matchup with great form, and they are definitely the favorites here. As far as Lorient goes, they have had some nice positive results over the last few weeks. They have lost only one of their last 4 games. They are far away from the relegation zone. Overall, this season has been a success for them, and on top of that, they have been scoring a very high amount of goals. Lorient has scored 40 goals in 27 games. That's a goal and a half or so on average, but they have also been conceding quite a lot, and I'm not sure that they can do much here because, in addition to these being such a good form and very solid offensively, this is actually one of the best defensive teams in the league with only 24 conceded goals, and that's less than a goal per game on average. And on top of that, at home, they have conceded only 11 goals in 13 games. Now, Lorient on the road, when it comes to scoring goals, has done a solid job. They have 19 goals in 13 games, but then again, their defense is really not that good on the road. So, in this game, guys, I gotta go with Nice on the money line. It's minus 162. Might be like on the edge of taking it as a single, simply because minus 162 is not really worth taking, and the risk of missing that one, I would say, is pretty high. But I'm pretty sure that's the only pick I'm willing to go with this game. So I'm gonna go with Nice on the money line, and maybe double it up with something else. Maybe take Monaco to score in that game or something like that. But as a single, I'm not sure it's worth taking. In the next matchup, guys, we have Strasbourg playing against Auxerre, and these two are still fighting to stay above the relegation zone, which Strasbourg is right now. They are in solid 15th place. They have only one loss over the last 4 games, but Auxerre on the other side is actually undefeated in the last 5 games, and because of that, they are on the verge of getting out of the relegation zone. They have same amount of points as Strasbourg has, and Brest above them, but they have a little bit worse goal difference, and that's the only reason why they are still in that relegation spot. Offensively, Strasbourg has had a lot more goals scored this season, and defensively, I would say these two teams are fairly even with 46 and 49 conceded goals. So I do believe that we're going to see an interesting matchup here. Maybe in the first half, both teams will try to approach this game a little bit more defensively and focus on that. But as soon as we see either side getting on the scoreboard, I think it's going to open up. And for that reason, I'm taking both teams to score at minus 108 here. Both teams have a lot to lose. Both teams have a lot to gain in this one. But I definitely see at least a goal on each side because of those bad defenses that we have with these two teams. Troyes is hosting Brest in the next matchup in the French Ligue 1, guys. It's still 10 a.m. game, and I honestly don't know what to think about this one. We have two very, very bad teams in a bad form. Troyes hasn't won any of their last 11 games. At home so far this season, they have won only 1 game alongside 8 draws and 4 losses, while Brest on the other side has only 1 win in their last 6 games, and they're only 3 points above Troyes in the standings. In the head-to-head matchups, the home team has been dominant in this matchup, yes. But seeing how both sides are struggling right now on both ends, they're conceding a lot of goals, not scoring that many. And overall, even though Troyes has had a solid offense throughout the entire season, that offense is pretty much nowhere to be seen over the last couple of months. And that's why they are on such a big losing streak. But then again, if they can't score against Brest here, who are their direct competitors to get relegated, I don't think they have a shot. So in this match, guys, I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals. Minus 110. I expect quite the open game here because, let's be honest, neither side has the defense. But yet again, they have to do something in that attacking end if they want points and if they want to stay in the League 1 for at least another season. So Brest over 2.5 goals at -110. And we are coming on to this two big derbies going on in the French Ligue 1, and the first one is between PSG and Rennes. If you gave me this matchup in the first half of the season before the World Cup, I wouldn't even hesitate but to take Rennes on the money line. But the roles have switched, and Rennes has been struggling quite a lot as of late. Yes, they have only 2 losses in their last 6 games, but they haven't been not nearly consistent as we are used to seeing them from the beginning of the season and as we were coming close to the World Cup. And because they are missing a few key players because of the injuries, they are struggling a lot with scoring goals as well. Overall, it's been a solid season for Rennes. They are in 6th place, still have a decent chance of qualifying for the Champions League. I think that the Europa League is more their range right now, and we'll see if they can do anything against PSG here. The situation at PSG is far from ideal, guys. And yes, I get it. They haven't lost a home game yet this season. They have 11 wins and 2 draws. They are back on the winning track after getting knocked out of the Champions League. They have beaten Brest 2-1. But in this game, they are missing a few players because of the injuries. Messi is listed as questionable for some reason, but I think he will play. And I think that PSG gets this one. They are pretty big favorites, but we'll see how far are we willing to risk and what picks are we willing to take for PSG to get a win here. But I'm going to stay away from that. I'm staying away from goals. Like I said, Rennes is struggling defensively. And for that reason, I'm taking PSG over 5.5 shots on target. It's -124. I think that's an excellent pick, and the price is absolutely great because PSG will be the dominant team here. They will create the most chances, and once again, Mbappe and Messi are in good form right now, and I think that each of them might have at least a couple of shots on target. So PSG over 5.5 shots on target. And we are closing the day in the Ligue 1 with this Reims versus Marseille matchup. Reims keeps rolling on, guys. They are still undefeated in their last 14 Ligue 1 games or something like that. They're playing really well. They are on a 3-game winning streak right now. They have beaten Monaco 1-0. They have beaten Ajaccio 1-0. They have beaten Toulouse 3-0. And before that, they tied to Nice 0-0, and they have beaten Troyes 4-0. This is 5 clean sheets in a row for Reims. Now, Marseille is an excellent defensive team. They have a lot of firepower. Even with a player less on the pitch last week, they had a 2-0 lead against Strasbourg just to gamble it away in the last few minutes of a game, which ended in a 2-2 draw in the end. But this is a very, very strong team with a lot of offense. And to be honest, they are playing in a pretty good form. Now, Marseille is in that Champions League spot. They are now in 3rd place with 56 points. But if they get a win in this one, they are going back to the 2nd. And if some miracle happens, they might even get back into the title race. But it's very hard to imagine that Reims will drop points here, at least that they will drop all 3 points, because they are in such a good run. It's very hard to bet against them. So I decided to go with both teams to score. It's -139. I just can't see a 0-0 game here, but definitely with the offense that both sides have, and I know that Reims has been very, very stable defensively. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that they keep another clean sheet here, but I just don't see it simply because Marseille has a lot of offense going their way, and I see them getting on the scoreboard at least once. So Reims against Marseille, both teams to score. That's it, everyone. Thank you for joining me here. These were free picks from the French Ligue 1 on Sunday. If you want my best bets, click the link in the description of this video. That will get you up to my page on the Pick Dawgz website where you can sign up. And for more free picks, go to the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel, guys, and check it out. That's it. Good luck with your bets on Sunday, and I'll see you soon with more free picks.